What's going on, guys? Welcome to FSA. Today, what I'm going to be talking about is my top 5 favorite softwares that I use as an Amazon reseller in order to make my business the most profitable it can possibly be, and also the most efficient it can possibly be. So at the end of the day, I really want to emphasize to you guys in this video that one of the most important things is to have a fluid business, right? To have something that you can work on that is constantly improving in its efficiency, in its productivity. Everything from the amount that you spend to the amount of time that you spend should be accounted for to the T in order to maximize your profits and maximize your overall business as a whole. So using these softwares is a way that I've found to really optimize my time, really optimize my output, and ultimately get the best bang for my buck in regards to the time that I'm putting towards the core areas in my business and what I'm going to get the best return on my investment with these different applications that I use, right? So we're going to start with number 1 here being Capital One Shopping, right? So Capital One Shopping, the reason why I like it so much is because not only does it allow me to see, different stores that I will be using from, ultimately using the retail arbitrage method, whether that be using Walmart, buying something for cheaper and then selling it for higher on Amazon. The nice thing about Capital One is that it provides me with what's called cashback, right? So cashback basically just means a particular percentage of what you spend will be given back to you based off what retail store you use, right? So there's multiple different retail stores that obviously acquire and have cashback tied to them. Examples being Walmart, Target, Wayfair, all these different well-known companies that are obviously selling millions and millions of dollars a day. They partner with someone like Capital One Shopping or these other cashback services in order to maximize their customer basis and make sure that they're getting the most customers possible. So we as a reseller obviously benefit from that, knowing that there's going to be a particular percentage of what we spend on these retail stores that's going to be given back to us whenever we're making our profit or whenever we're buying an item after we make a sale, right? So like I said, the nice thing about it is if we go here and we go to my rewards and savings, okay? And we're gonna look at my lifetime rewards and the amount of money that I've acquired thanks to this cashback, right? So obviously, as you can see here, $342.39. Keep in mind, I don't use Capital One Shopping that much. That's why I put it at number 5 here. Reason being is that I have other applications that seem to make me even more cashback. That being said, it's a great application. I feel like you can really utilize it to the max if you're ordering a lot of products and selling a lot of items on Amazon, right? But just to give you a broad idea, this is how much I've acquired. Obviously this is what I have in available shopping and rewards. They give you rewards, they give you added benefits when you're checking out of these different retail stores, which is awesome. And like I said, you get that cash back too, which is really cool. So say it's 5% of a purchase, you're gonna get 5% back of what you spent on that purchase, which is ultimately just going to go towards your profit and allow you to maximize it to the max. So again, guys, great application, something that I really recommend. They have a whole broad selection of different apparel, different brands, different things that you can go through and kind of see what you can get cash back on. Obviously, we as resellers aren't looking at it from a consumer basis. We're looking at as how much money can I make and how much more money can I add towards my profit margins at the end of the day when I'm checking out and fulfilling these orders for my customers. So I want you guys to be thinking as a reseller here, not as a consumer, but just know that that's the beautiful part about being a reseller, is that you can utilize these applications to your advantage and once again minimize the amount that you're spending and really make that money back in a beautiful way by using these applications. So another thing that I want to talk about and touch on with Capital One Shopping that I think is even more important than the cash back that you get are the codes and the coupons that will be applied at your checkout. So one of the most beneficial things about Capital One Shopping that Rakuten and all these other cashback services don't even have is the fact that what they will do is while you're checking out, there will be always, if you're really paying attention, these little blank spots that have codes that you can put in to get a discount on that purchase, right? So for example, it may be a very unique code that you may not know, but since Capital One Shopping keeps data and tracks these different codes for each of these retail stores, what it's gonna do is it's gonna input that for you by itself. So you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to look up the codes. You don't have to see, what codes are going on at Walmart or whatnot. Capital One Shopping will specifically go through every single code that is currently being promoted or is currently being pushed by the algorithm or by Walmart or whomever it is that you're checking out from. And we'll do that for you and tell you if you're getting the best price that it's at currently, or if you can get multiple dollars off. So I can say from experience, I've had items that, I recommend doing this once you get a little bit more down the road experience and things, but creating multiple emails and actually reusing that code over and over for those purchases, because what it does is it maximizes my profit to the best of its ability, especially when I'm getting, $20, $30 off of my already great margins that I'm making on these items as a whole. So that's one thing that I really want to capitalize with Capital One Shopping, is that you can really maximize your profits if you use it that way. And again, the cashback is great, but I feel like this is really probably the key to it all with Capital One Shopping. That's going to take you to limits that you never thought possible in regards to how much you can be saving and how much profit you can really be making. So that's at number 5. Like I said, great application just to start, but we got more coming here. At number 4, we got specifically what I like to use more than Capital One, which is going to be Rakuten. So Rakuten, the reason why I like it is because from just looking at the overall broad scheme, or if you will, the overlay of it and how they designed it, it's very simple. It's very easy. It's easy to understand, especially for a new beginner, and even a veteran, that's someone that's been selling for as long as I have been. Keep in mind there's so many more people that have been selling longer than me, and I know they use Rakuten by their side every time they check out and fulfill an order for a customer. So like I said, it's just a very easily application, very similar to Capital One Shopping. What it does is it allows you to, like I said, make that cash back on each and every purchase, right? So if you're buying an item from QVC here, it'd be as simple as seeing that, right? Going to QVC, and what it's going to do is it's going to tell you 10% cash back has been activated. It's going to do that all for you, and then it's going to take you to QVC here, where basically you would just check out. At the end of it, you would see, okay, this is how much I paid, but then in the corner here, as you can tell, Rakuten will have some pop-ups that'll tell you, hey, the cashback has been processed, and it will hit your bank account very soon. So if we go back to my Rakuten account here, we can obviously tell within the last few months, I've acquired about $2,000 cashback, which is huge in my opinion, especially for the amount that I sell, because that's free money that's coming back into my pocket that I'm putting towards my profit when the day is said and done. So again, my next cash balance or check that Rakuten is going to send me is going to be $674. Keep in mind, they send it in increments. They don't send it all in one, just because that's how their platform runs. But once again, if it's money that you're just getting for extra and you're not really worried about it, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much they pay you, as long as you're getting that money back, is what really counts. So like I said, guys, a great application that you can really utilize to, once again, maximize your profit and make the most money possible at the end of the day in this business. And again, they have a very broad selection. I know Rakuten, has covered multiple different retail stores until this day. From my understanding, they're even continuing and broadening their plethora of different items that you can get cash back on in businesses and things like that. So really cool to see them expanding, and I think it's a great number 4 for the list of some of the applications that I would recommend as an Amazon reseller. So now what we're gonna get into is some of the basic little applications that I like to use on a daily basis. And honestly, it's not even that I like to use them, it's that I need to use them because of how beneficial they are in my business and how organized they allow me to ultimately stay, right? So at the end of the day, you always want to have a organized sheet of data that you can refer back to, whether it be for your products, whether it be for your profit, your expenses, all that good stuff. You want to make sure that you're keeping track of all that, because if you're not, you're going to have a lot harder of a time being successful in any business if you're not keeping track of the numbers, right? Now, you could hire people to do that, which I recommend later on, right? I'm not a CPA, anything like that. Don't take financial advice, but always good to keep track of your numbers at the end of the day. But especially as a new seller, even someone that's been in the game 2-3 years, you can really do a lot of it on your own if you have the right application set in place. So one of my favorites is just Google Sheets, right? Reason being is that you can keep everything in track there. You can track how much you're spending on the products, how much profit you're making, how much profit you made in the week, how much profit you made in the year, all these beautiful things that if you weren't keeping organized, you wouldn't be doing as well as you could in your business. And so I feel like it's a very simple one, but it's something that I feel would be a disjustice to not show in this video, because it wouldn't be doing you guys right in regards to making sure that you guys are as organized as you possibly can be, so on and so forth. So again, what I like to use it for is keeping log of my products, keeping log of my expenses, all the data that's needed to fuel my business is what I like to use Google Sheets for, and that's why I think it's a great application to use. Coming in at number 2 here, one of, probably, again, one of the most essential applications that I would say you need is going to be a revenue calculator, specifically Amazon's revenue calculator. Reason being is that it's going to allow you to see how much profit you're making on each and every sale, right? So basically you would input the specific code, the ASIN, the SKU, the title of the product that you just sold, obviously put in the cost of goods, put in the amount that you bought it for, so on and so forth. And what it's going to do is it's going to spit out the profit margin and the net overall profit that you made from that purchase or from that, sale all around after fees are taken from Amazon, right? So for example, I will actually real quick show you exactly what I mean, just to kind of give you guys a layout of what it looks like when you're inputting this info. All right, guys, so we got this item right here. Basically, I'm going to be selling it for $29.99. I would just input the ASIN. I would input the product title. I would be selling this, say, for, like I said, $30. Say I bought the item, right? For my cost of goods was, $5, right? $5.99. What that's going to do is it's going to pop out that net proceeds, which is $18.51. So that's the money that I'm taking home from this sale, and then it's going to give me my net margin here, which is going to be 61%. So that's a great net margin, and that's a great profit, especially basically based off the amount that I bought it for and the amount that I'm selling it for. So this is just kind of a layout of a very broad layout of what it would look like if you were to input a specific item that you sold, right? And you would do this over and over again, and then at the end of the day, add up the profit and see how much you made, right? So again, this is something that I use every single day in my business. It is crucial for me to keep track of my numbers, keep track of my data. And once again, I feel like it would be a disjustice to not bring this to you guys and show you a little bit of how I run my business and how I think all of you can keep track of all your profit pretty easily just by this one application alone. And last but not least, guys, we got the last application that is ultimately, in my opinion, going to allow you to very efficiently and very quickly find different stores that are selling the same item that you are selling on Amazon, right? So here's the beautiful thing about PriceBlink is that what it's going to do is it's going to spit out different retail stores that are selling the same item that you're selling on Amazon, but for a cheaper price, right? So say, for example, I'm selling an item that's selling for $499, right? And I use PriceBlink, right? And it shows me that on Walmart, it's selling for $299. Well, all I will have to do is click on that link and see that it's selling for $299 and buy it from there, right? So the beautiful thing about that is that you don't have to do that product research or that looking for that other item on your own, right? So it cuts the time in half from you actually having to use, say, another tab and then look it up and then look at all these other suppliers and do the sorting yourself. PriceBlink will already do that for you, and I've seen that at least 90% of the time they're super accurate. Now, they don't catch everything, right? Applications are always going to have their little things and their little niches and things that they don't always do perfectly, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like overall it is definitely a application that I would use in my business to cut down the time that I have to worry about finding these different links and doing all that. It's going to allow you to be more efficient as a whole, and efficiency is key when it comes down to business. So I'm going to show you guys an example of what I mean when it comes down to PriceBlink actually spitting out these different suppliers and these different links, and I'll show you that in just a second. All right, guys, so great example here. We got this Black & Decker silver black, I think it's a tortilla maker, I don't even know. Oh, sorry, waffle maker, jeez. So we got this waffle maker here, selling for $78.16. Beautiful part is that obviously this is just an example. It's not the greatest margin. It's not the greatest profit by any stretch, but you can kind of get the idea of what PriceBlink will do for you and how it'll help your business, right? So like I had mentioned, there's going to be this yellow icon or this yellow little header here. What it's going to say is compare 3 different prices, right? So it's going to give you a number, right? You can compare 3 prices. You can compare 5 prices, whatever amount of suppliers are selling the same item. It's going to pop up with that number here. It's going to say savings found. This item costs $59.54 plus free shipping at Walmart, right? So if it's selling on Amazon for $78.16, but we can get it from Walmart for $59, you can obviously tell that there's some margin to be made. Now, it may be very slim for this specific example, but keep in mind, there's billions of products on Amazon that you are going to be able to choose from that will have good margins that PriceBlink will find for you. So it's always a good added benefit. But like I said, what we're going to do here is we're going to click on this and we're going to see that even though Walmart is number one, there are even 2 other suppliers that are selling the item for. Now, that being said, this one's selling for $78.94, so obviously I wouldn't recommend that supplier, but PriceBlink still gives you that just to show you, hey, we're finding as many suppliers as we can for you, even if it means that it's the same price or even a little bit over, right? Same thing, we got this SHC Supply. I'm not very familiar with them. That's where you come into play, and that's where a good reseller comes into play, in the fact that they are the ones that have to look and see if they're reputable as is, right? So that's on you. But as we know, Walmart is very reputable and it seems to be the cheapest price here, and PriceBlink found that for us like that. So again, guys, great application to use, great piece that can add to your plethora of different applications. And when you put all these together, I'm telling you, you're gonna make a lot of money. So guys, thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time to try to expand your knowledge in regards to becoming a better Amazon reseller. So again, what I want to cover is the top 5 different applications that I went over today, being Rakuten, Capital One Shopping, Google Sheets, PriceBlink, and Revenue Calculator for Amazon specifically. All 5 of those, once again, guys, are gonna fuel your business. It's gonna allow you to make the most profit possible. And by all means, there's many different applications that I could have covered today, but keep in mind, these were the top 5, in my opinion, that have helped me fuel my business, that have helped me grow to, extents that I could have never imagined. And truthfully, my life would be a lot harder without these applications in hand. So again, guys, keep that in mind. Use them to your advantage. Don't use them to your disadvantage. Don't become a consumer. Continue being the better seller that you can be. Continue, expanding your knowledge, watching videos like this, and make that money, baby. So make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Put in the comments what you guys think. We're trying to push out these videos. We're trying to give as much knowledge to you guys as possible, and hopefully we're creating some value to you guys and not wasting your time. So thanks again. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.